History is not just about the past, it is the story of who we are. Welcome to Dattaprabodhinee, where we explore the history, culture, wisdom, and timeless heritage of India. Let's begin.
Guyana sits on the northern coast of South America, though its cultural and historical ties align it much closer to the Caribbean. This chart compares surname demographics across the continent. When we zoom in on Guyana, the most common surname recorded isn't Rodriguez, Silva, or Gonzalez. It is Prasad. To understand why an Indian surname tops the registry in a South American nation, we have to look closely at the region's 19th century architecture and its history as British Guyana. Before we trace the origins of this migration, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the Dattaprabodhinee channel. When a single surname dominates a country thousands of miles from its origin, it is the visible result of a specific 19th century migration that shifted the demographic makeup of entire nations. To understand Prasad, we have to go back thousands of years to ancient India and examine the original Sanskrit word, prasada. In ancient Vedic texts, the word breaks down into two parts. The first part is the prefix pra, which denotes forward motion, intensification, or completeness. The second root is sad, meaning to sit, to settle, or to come to a state of rest. In the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, combining these roots describes a state where the mind completely settles down. It represents absolute mental clarity, free from the illusions of duality. Over time, this abstract philosophical concept took physical form in Hindu temple rituals. When devotees offer food to a deity, the sanctified remnants returned to them are called prasada. Receiving prasada acts as an active transfer of divine grace and purity from the sacred realm into the mundane world. This concept of grace is so central to Hindu life that parents actively invoke it during the Namkaran, the traditional naming ceremony, to bestow lifelong spiritual favor upon their child. Historically, Indian naming conventions were highly stratified. Surnames often acted as strict social identifiers, locking individuals into specific occupational and hierarchical castes. Prasad bypassed these rigid boundaries. It was adopted across the social spectrum, from elite scribal families in Bihar to marginalized communities seeking upward mobility. Because receiving blessed food in a temple requires devotees to sit together and share the exact same offering, it inherently dissolves social rankings. During the Bhakti movement, spiritual leaders emphasized a direct connection to the divine that ignored social rank. Choosing the name Prasad allowed individuals to identify with this egalitarian philosophy, marking themselves as graced by God, rather than by their inherited position in a hierarchy. If you are enjoying this exploration of spiritual history, take a moment to subscribe to the Dattaprabodhinee YouTube channel. In 1834, the British Empire abolished slavery and established the indentured labor system, drawing hundreds of thousands of workers primarily from the agricultural regions of northern India. This map shows the migration routes of those workers. Ships departed Indian ports, dispersing across the globe to Fiji, Mauritius, and the Caribbean. Over 1 million Indians were transported, creating new ethnic majorities and lasting cultural foundations at these geographic nodes. Upon arrival, these migrants faced the grueling physical reality of colonial plantation labor, cutting sugarcane under harsh conditions with minimal rights. When these workers were registered, British colonial clerks phonetically wrote down their spoken names into official ship ledgers. Prasad was transliterated into anglicized variations like Prasad and Prashad. Cut off from their homes by thousands of miles of ocean, the migrants held tightly to their cultural heritage. The colonial system treated them as disposable labor statistics, but holding on to the name Prasad provided a vital lifeline to their origins, preserving their spiritual identity across generations. Moving into the 20th century, the descendants of these laborers, and those who remained in India, stepped into roles that shaped newly independent nations. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, an independence activist and scholar, became the first president of the Republic of India. As chairman of the Constituent Assembly, he oversaw the drafting of India's constitution, guiding a massive, diverse population through the complex process of defining its legal and democratic future. Simultaneously, diaspora descendants bearing variations of the name have risen to prominence across the United States, the UK, and the Caribbean, making significant marks in science, excelling in modern athletics, and shaping national politics. Whether steering a republic or advancing scientific research, modern bearers of the name continue to echo the ancient values of the Sanskrit root, operating with clarity, devotion, and a spirit of shared generosity. What began as a specific Sanskrit root thousands of years ago is now held by over 4 million people, stretching outward from the temples of Varanasi to the halls of government in Georgetown and New Delhi. It is a continuous thread of meaning that survived colonial ships, rigid social structures, and the passage of centuries. Please like this video, subscribe to the Dattaprabodhinee channel, and leave a comment below telling us which name we should explore next. True legacy outlasts empires and oceans, settling permanently into the identity of the people as a living piece of grace.